Picture this. You are chopping vegetables for your own dinner. A little piece of carrot rolls off the cutting board, and before it even hits the floor, your cat is already there, sniffing it, maybe trying to steal it. Every single cat parent has had that exact moment of hesitation. Is this actually safe for my cat, or am I about to make a very expensive trip to the emergency vet? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki, your neighborhood cat vet, and welcome back to the channel. Cats are obligate carnivores. Meat is the true foundation of their diet, and they do not need vegetables the way we do. But that does not mean every vegetable is off limits. Some of them offer real, genuine benefits for hydration, for digestion, even for weight management. Today I am walking you through my 7 favorite vegetables for cats, exactly how much to give and how to prepare each one safely, and then, just as important, the 3 vegetables I need you to remove from your kitchen counter permanently. Because for a cat, they are not simply unhealthy, they can be deadly. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, because we cover exactly this kind of practical, vet-backed cat care every week. Let's get into it. But Dr. Lucas, if my cat is a strict carnivore, why bother with vegetables at all? Fair question. You are never going to build your cat's diet around a vegetable. The foundation always has to be a complete, meat-based cat food. Think of everything in this video as a small, occasional bonus on top of that foundation, not a replacement for it. Vegetable number 1 is pumpkin, and in my clinic, this is one of the very first things I reach for. Plain pumpkin is rich in soluble fiber, which means it can help a cat who is a little constipated, and, just as often, it helps firm things up in a cat with mild diarrhea. That same fiber also feeds the good bacteria living in your cat's gut, and it can help move swallowed fur through the digestive tract instead of letting it sit and form a hairball. I remember a cat named Miso, who came into my clinic after 3 days without a bowel movement. Before we did anything more invasive, we simply added a small amount of plain pumpkin to her food for 2 days, and that alone solved it. Here is the correct way to use it. You want plain canned pumpkin, not the pie filling. That distinction matters enormously because pie filling is loaded with sugar and spices, and one spice in particular, nutmeg, can actually be harmful to cats in any real quantity. For an average 4 to 5 kilogram cat, mix about 1 teaspoon of plain pumpkin into their wet food, anywhere from a few times a week to daily if you are working through a bout of constipation. If your cat turns their nose up at plain pumpkin, warm it very slightly first, just to bring out the smell. Cats respond far more to scent than to taste. Vegetable number 2 is carrot, and I need to clear something up with 100% certainty. You may have seen other channels talk about the beta-carotene in carrots protecting against cancer. That research exists in dogs. It does not transfer to cats because cats convert beta-carotene into vitamin A extremely poorly. Cats are built to pull their vitamin A already formed, directly from animal tissue. Cats are not small dogs, and I am not going to hand you a benefit that does not honestly apply to them. What carrot does still offer your cat is a low-calorie, high-fiber, crunchy treat, and some cats genuinely enjoy the texture. The correct way to give it is cooked and finely mashed, never raw chunks or coins. Because cats do not chew the way dogs do, they tend to gulp, and a raw chunk becomes a real choking and blockage risk. About a 1/4 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, once or twice a week, mixed into food, is completely fine. It is also one of the cheapest treats you can keep in the fridge. A single carrot lasts weeks. Vegetable number 3 is cucumber, and this one plays directly into the single biggest health issue I see in senior cats: chronic dehydration. Cats descend from a desert ancestor, and their thirst drive is naturally weak, so anything that adds moisture to their day is genuinely valuable. Cucumber is over 90% water and very low in calories. But Dr. Lucas, I have seen those videos where a cat jumps in fear at the sight of a cucumber. Is that real fear of the vegetable? No, and please hear this. That is a startle reflex to something unfamiliar suddenly appearing right behind them while they are eating. It has nothing to do with cucumbers specifically, and it does not belong in anyone's content. That moment is genuinely frightening for the cat, not funny. The correct way to serve it is small peeled cubes. The skin can taste slightly bitter to a cat and is a little harder to digest. A few small cubes once or twice a week is plenty. If your cat ignores it entirely, that is completely normal too. Not every cat is interested, and that is fine. There is no forcing a vegetable on a carnivore. Vegetable number 4 is green beans, and this one has real weight management power. Many veterinary surveys suggest that more than half of house cats today are overweight or obese, and that extra weight is directly linked to diabetes, joint disease, and a shorter lifespan. Plain cooked green beans are extremely low in calories but still add real volume to a meal, so a cat on a weight loss plan can eat a satisfying portion without the extra energy. I use this trick constantly with owners who tell me, "Dr. Lucas, he is always begging. I cannot cut his portion any further." My answer is always the same. Do not just cut the food. Replace some of it with green beans. Same bowl, same volume, far fewer calories. The correct way is plain, cooked, no salt, no butter, and this is crucial. Absolutely no onion or garlic seasoning of any kind. We will talk about exactly why in a moment. For an average cat, 1 to 2 tablespoons cut small, mixed into wet food a few times a week, or daily if your vet has you working on a weight loss plan. Fresh or frozen is best. If you use canned, rinse them thoroughly first. Canned versions are often loaded with sodium. I have watched cats lose a genuinely meaningful amount of weight over several months using nothing more dramatic than this one swap, alongside regular play sessions, and their owners are always surprised at how simple it turned out to be. Vegetable number 5 is sweet potato, and I want to be honest with you here. This one earns the smallest portion of all 7. It does offer fiber and a gentler rise in blood sugar compared to simple carbohydrates, but your cat has essentially zero biological need for starch of any kind. Their body is built to run on protein and fat. So think of sweet potato purely as an occasional filler, never a health food, and never a replacement for actual meat-based nutrition. The correct way is cooked, plain and mashed, about a quarter teaspoon for an average cat, offered occasionally rather than daily. I would be extra cautious with any cat who is already overweight or diabetic, and if that describes your cat, simply skip this one and lean on the other 6 instead. There is no cost to leaving it out. Vegetable number 6 is peas, plain, cooked, fresh or frozen, never the canned version loaded with sodium. Peas bring fiber and a little vitamin K. And honestly, your cat's regular food probably already contains many commercial diets use peas as a natural binder, so this is not a foreign ingredient to their gut. Mash them slightly before serving. The little skins can be tough for a cat to break down, and some cats will spit out whole peas rather than chew them. About 1 teaspoon a few times a week mixed into a meal is plenty. It is an easy, cheap staple to keep in the freezer, and a small handful goes a very long way. You can portion it out weeks in advance and just thaw a little each time. Vegetable number 7 is parsley, fresh, and in a very, very small amount. It has a natural breath freshening effect, and some cat parents like using it for a cat with less than pleasant breath. Please hear this vet warning. Make absolutely sure what you are picking is genuinely parsley from a trusted source, and never something growing wild in your yard. Several toxic plants closely resemble parsley leaves at a glance. Use about 1/8 of a teaspoon, finely chopped, sprinkled on food, occasionally, and if your cat has any kidney disease, check with your vet before adding any new plant matter at all. And while we are here, I want to say this clearly. If your cat, especially a male cat, is straining in the litter box and producing little or no urine, that is not something you fix at home with parsley or any other natural remedy. That is a same-night emergency. The bladder can be physically blocked, and you need to be at an emergency vet within hours, not days. Now, the 3 I need you to remove from your kitchen counter completely. Number 1, onion, garlic, leeks, chives, and shallots, the entire allium family. These contain compounds that directly damage a cat's red blood cells, and cats are actually more sensitive to this than dogs are. This is not just the raw vegetable, it is onion powder, garlic powder, and it hides inside broths, gravies, and baby food that people offer a sick or picky cat with the very best intentions. And because cats hide illness so well, the anemia this causes can build quietly for days before you notice pale gums, weakness, or a cat who simply will not get up. If you make broth for your cat, it must be plain, unsalted, onion-free, and garlic-free. Full stop, no exceptions. I have treated cats brought in lethargic and pale days after a well-meaning owner shared a spoonful of homemade soup, and by the time anyone connects the dots back to the onion in that soup, real damage has already been done. Number 2, raw potato and the green parts of potato or tomato plants. These contain a compound called solanine, concentrated in green sprouts and green-tinged skin, and it can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and in larger amounts, neurological signs. There is genuinely no upside here, so I would simply skip nightshade vegetables for your cat entirely. There is nothing in them your cat actually needs. Number 3, and this one surprises people. Spinach. A dog channel might tell you a small amount of spinach in moderation is fine, and for a dog, that is often true. For a cat, I disagree, and here is exactly why. Cats are not small dogs. Spinach is high in calcium oxalate, and cats are already biologically prone to forming oxalate crystals and stones in a bladder that is far narrower than a dog's, especially in male cats, where a blocked bladder becomes the same genuine emergency I just described. Why take that risk for a vegetable your cat does not need in the first place? I also want to be completely honest about what these 7 vegetables cannot do. None of them treat a real medical problem. If your cat stops eating for 24 hours or more, that is never a wait-and-see situation. A cat's liver can start to fail from something called hepatic lipidosis in a matter of days without food, and that is a same-day vet visit, not a vegetable. These 7 are for a healthy cat's bowl, alongside a complete diet, not a substitute for veterinary care. The same goes for vomiting that keeps happening, sudden weight loss, or hiding more than usual. Those are conversations for your vet, not for the vegetable drawer. I know that is a lot of information at once, so let's simplify it. Pumpkin for digestion, carrot as a low-calorie crunchy treat, cucumber for hydration, green beans for weight management, sweet potato as an occasional filler, peas for a little extra fiber, and parsley, tiny amounts only, for fresher breath. The golden rule is this: pick just 1 or 2 of these, not all 7 at once. Introduce anything new slowly and always keep it as a small addition alongside a complete meat-based diet, never the main event. And permanently keep onion, garlic, raw potato, and spinach off the table. No exceptions, no matter what any other channel tells you. If this video helped you shop with a little more confidence, hit that like button. It genuinely helps tell the algorithm that safe veterinary advice deserves to be seen, and that helps us protect a lot more cats. Subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into your cat's health, and tell me in the comments, which of these 7 are you actually going to try this week? I try to read every single comment. If you know another cat parent who is always wondering what is safe to share from their own plate, send them this video. It might change how they feed their cat forever. I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki. Keep giving your cat the absolute best, and I'll see you in the next video.